Hello guys and welcome to another FPL video. Today we're going to continue rating your drafts. We've already rated uh, around 25 of yours on stream, but there were 7 left that I didn't manage to cover in the stream. So today I'm going to go through all of the 7 drafts and give my honest thoughts about them, and we'll see where I most probably am going to improve if I do so, or if I don't. Yeah, just the sake of it. If you enjoy such type of content, don't forget to leave your draft down below, because during the week that is coming, I'm going to do another stream for rating your now updated drafts, and we'll see how the drafts are going and what else we can manage to fit into your draft. As you can see, in the previous video, I updated my draft, so I have now an updated new version. So let's see yours. Put them down in the comment section. If you don't see this video or don't want to post it here, there is a community post that will go live as soon as this video is live, so you can post them there. So a lot of places where you can find me and where you can leave your team. So if you want to be posted, don't forget to tune in for this video in the comment section, then tune in for the stream where I'll be drafting. If more drafts are left unrated, I'll be going to another video where I'm going to rate them, and we're going to continue that forward, just seeing different drafts, different perspectives, talking about FPL, all of those great stuff. If you want to see them and don't miss anything, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications on, as you will be seeing me going live and discussing more and more FPL. So the first draft we're going to go through, it's from Michael. This guy posted the draft on stream, and he has some serious differentials compared to different teams that I've seen. Yeah, the regular guys are here, like Newcastle defender, Palmer, Foden, Odoi, Isaac, Watkins, but I see a difference now. He's opting for Gabriel instead of Saliba. I would recommend going for Saliba, as he's the safest option from the Arsenal team, and it's for the same price. I know the attacking threat for Gabriel is bigger, but if they sign a new center back or Timber comes back into the side, he may be benched. This is not for certain. Gabriel had an amazing season last time around, but for sure I would prefer Saliba. The rest of the defense that are starting are solid. Onana is an interesting choice. At least he's with a 5.0 and then with a 4.0 keeper, so he's not wasting any extra money on the bench, so that's good. In midfield, a pretty solid midfield of Salah, Palmer, Foden and Hudson-Odoi. I like that midfield. It leaves him with several options to rotate afterwards. If someone is not performing, he can get easily to anyone apart from Haaland, so that's good. Up front, he's stacked. I wouldn't recommend going for Tony just now. We don't know where he is going to end up, and the fixtures do not scream a lot of they do not scream a lot of clean sheets, but they can always score goals against Palace, against Liverpool, who are going to be with a new manager, Southampton for sure. So Tony is an interesting pick. I've seen Benek, one of my regular viewers, going with him, and if he stays at Brentford and it is confirmed that he is going to stay, he is going to be in a very good position to be in our drafts. If not, there is a guy called Thiago that came to replace him generally. So yeah, maybe Thiago is going to be a new gem during the season, but for now I will be a little hesitant going for a Brentford attacker, as we don't know if Tony is staying. If he stays and Bumo is then on penalties, then Wissa, is he going to be the starting forward or he's going to be the left like they used to go? A lot of questions going for the Brentford team, so for now I would steer away. The issue with this team that I see is that they do not own a proper 4.5 defender. Yeah, you can argue that Barco is going to be playing all the time, and that's good. Okoli, it can be another 4.0 defender, so the bench is a little bit weak, but the most important part for this team is to go forward and to advance with the 11 players. So I would rate this as an 8.5 out of 10, because it has City attacker, it has Liverpool attacker, it has a Chelsea attacker, Newcastle, Aston Villa, all of those great teams are covered. Hudson-Odoi is the coverage for Nottingham Forest, who as well have a very good fixture on. Defensively, he is solid. The only issue is the bench. If he can manage to fix the bench, maybe if he drops down Tony to someone, or go with a midfielder like Eze or Gordon for the 7.5 price range, or anyone at 6.5, he can maybe slightly update the defensive part of the bench. But all in all, a pretty solid draft by Michael. Next up, we're going to see FPL Josh's team, and here we already see a different approach. The goalkeeper is a very expensive one. He's 5.5, but he's the only nailed 1000% player from Arsenal in defense. That is 5.5. So he's going to get the clean sheets, while not spending an extra 0.5, so this might be good. In defense, he is opting for a 4.5 force. Cowell, Mikulenko, Burn and Muriu, and Bendarek is going to be the defensive option. I like the goalkeeper of Chelsea more because I don't know how defensively they're going to look, and Cowell is not amazing at set pieces, but still I might reconsider going for a Chelsea goalkeeper and instead of that going for a Chelsea defender, but we'll see how the future presents itself during the preseason games, and we'll see how the lineup is looking for Chelsea. In midfield, he's stacked. Once again, Palmer, Foden, and Salah are present, but here it's Gordon and Gibbs-White, so he's using the money from Munoz and Saliba to upgrade compared to Michael, compared to upgrade to Gordon and Gibbs-White. I don't know who the captain is going to be, but that's irrelevant right now as this is only draft and it's for improvement. Isaac and Watkins up front and Fraser from Wolves is not going to do. Honestly, I quite like this draft. Once again, the only downfall here is he does not own anyone from Arsenal's attack and Spurs attack, but Spurs attack is hard to fit in if you don't go for Son. You're not sure if Brennan Johnson is going to be the guy that's playing on the right. Is going to be Kulusevski. Is Maddison going to return to the form that he was at the start of last season? Those are questions that cannot be answered currently. But yeah, all the rest are pretty good players and I quite liked it. With the funds spread out better, I believe I will give this draft a 9 out of 10. So good job FPL Josh, I quite like this draft, and if I was going with no Haaland, my draft would have looked something similar to that. Next up we have Pranav. He submitted the draft once again during the stream, and here he has money in the bank, so there is a room for improvement. Once again we see a 5.0 keeper, so this is the third draft in a row where we see a lot of expensive goalkeepers and not the 4.5 options, which is not bad in any sense because 5.0 keeper tends to do better. If we can find a 4.5 keeper, that is brilliant, that will be nice, but for now 5.0 and up keepers are in a lot of teams, so yeah, I quite like this as well. In defense, Andersen, Mikulenko and Burn to be rotated between the three of them. It's a nice rotation. The only issue here is game week 2, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, no, game week 2 is solid. Where was the issue? Oh yeah, in game week 3 was the issue where they face Spurs and Chelsea. You can go and say that Chelsea defenders can be put into play, but for now I wouldn't be going for this trifecta because with Andersen you can fit in an Aston Villa defender and maybe a Fulham or Forest one, so it looks good on paper as well. And double Everton defense seems quite investing in their defense, even though they were good and their fixture run, it's like good. Brighton, Bournemouth, Leicester, Ipswich, Fulham, Southampton, West Ham, Brentford, all of the teams you can invest around game week 5 and it will be great because you bench them in only 2 of the weeks, and after that is tricky before Liverpool, but still you can rely on Everton defense as they were really good, and I will be trying to fit in a player from their side into my team 1000% as I see them as a very good defensive side. The midfield, as already mentioned, is the third draft in a row where we see Salah, Palmer and Foden. Gordon is a staple from last team once again, and Teze makes an appearance here. Isaac, Wood and Joao Pedro into the team. I would drop the price for Joao Pedro and maybe go for a 4.5 player because I don't think there is a reason to go for him currently, but what are you going to do with the budget? You can improve maybe Wood because you have 1.5, so you can go for a 7.5 player, but I don't think it's that better if you go to the forwards. Let's see, 7.5, Jackson, Mateta, Tony, maybe Tony if he's a nailed option, but honestly that doesn't scream like a lot of returns currently. So yeah, Joao Pedro as a rotating player might be a good option. You have to see if he's going to be nailed, not nailed, but fit and start playing or not. But yeah, overall, very solid draft apart from the double Everton defense because you can target different defenses. I would give this 8.5 because in attack it's a little bit iffy, and yeah, all the rest is pretty good. So Pranav, nice job, 8.5 out of 10. So far 3 drafts, really good drafts. Next up is FPL Hulk, and his team has one major flaw: he cannot afford it. Is minus 0.5 in the budget. I checked it 3 times and I couldn't find a mistake here. So yeah, first of all, the draft is not possible, but if you can downgrade a defender from 4.5 to a 4.0, you will be in the money and you can afford the team. Robinson, Anderson, Konsa, Burn, Saliba. You can sack off Robinson or Burn and you can go for a 4.0 defender, and the squad is affordable. I see a lot of similarities between the other drafts. The issue here is, honestly, I prefer Arsenal attack compared to Chelsea's one, not because Chelsea are a bad team or something, but because we don't know how they are playing, and that's a major thing in that game for me. Players from teams that have kept their managers and are going forward is going to be good. Salah makes an exception here because this is Mohamed Salah and he can be always great, and if he's not by any chance, you can downgrade him to whoever midfielder you like. He has a City attacker, he has a triple Newcastle, so he believes in them a lot. Arsenal makes an appearance here, Aston Villa is here, Liverpool is here, so Chelsea and Spurs are the only two teams missing, which is not such a bad thing because, in my opinion, they're not a must at the start. I know Spurs have been scoring a lot, but I need to see how they're going to improve their lineup, and for sure they need a striker. Son is rumored to be there, but I don't fancy him so much at the striker position, especially against some of the teams, because he's a big hit or a miss. Like when he's a striker, he can get a hat trick or just does nothing. Yeah, apart from that, FPL Hulk, I would give that, if you fix the budget, 9 out of 10, because I quite like it. You have a lot of players, you have a lot of price points, and by the way, this is the fourth draft where we haven't seen Haaland. This is an interesting thing. I'm so surprised when there isn't an Erling Haaland. Like last season he was 14 million and he was like around 90% owned, and now he's 1 million more, but he's only at 35. Like, does this million make such a difference? I'm not sure that it does. And yeah, you have Foden. There are rumors that KDB is leaving, and if that happens, Foden is going to take his place 1,000,000%, and then he's going to become irreplaceable in anyone's team. But let's see how it goes and what changes before the start. Foden hasn't returned yet to preseason. He won't have the proper one, so maybe it's going to be a good thing to jump on him later during the season, but we have a lot of time to discuss different things and different propositions. So for now, I quite like this Foden pick because he was the best player last season in the Prem. He got an award for that. But yeah, you have Saka, you have Salah, you have Watkins, Isaac, a lot of great stuff. So yeah, I quite like it. I hope you enjoyed this draft as well. And as I said, 9 out of 10 if he fixes the budget. If he doesn't, it's a 0 out of 10 because you cannot afford this team. Going next, it's Kurum's draft, and we see our first Haaland. And this, by the way, is the first Salah Haaland draft I see in a while. Rob Sanchez, Burn, Mikulenko, Martinez, Robinson, a very solid defense. It seems like a good practice to go for a 4.5 players because you can afford more expensive ones up front. Here I have several issues with the team. First of all, I don't quite fancy the Martinez pick. I know that he's one of the best defenders United, but still, United defense was horrendous last season, and everyone seems to forget about that. I am not so sure they have improved so much during preseason. First of all, Martinez is so injury prone. Next up, he doesn't have a solid partner currently next to him. The new guy, Yoro was his name. Yeah, Yoro just came. The leaked is rumored to come. So a lot of things can improve in that United's defense, but still it's not up there. Shaw hasn't had a perfect season yet. So yeah, a lot of question marks. I would improve myself there. Next up, he has Mohamed Salah, Bruno Fernandes, Sewang, and Gordon. I like Hudson-Odoi more than Elanga, so that's what I will change there. And Haaland, Isaac, and Joao Pedro. And if the attackers finish there, it would have been amazing. But then he has a 6.5 player on the bench. Like, this can be used to improve either your defense or improve Elanga to someone else, or just drop Elanga and go for a 4.5 player and you have 1 million more. You can drop Joao Pedro and go for someone else. Like, you have so many options. You don't have money in the bank. That's understandable because you have a 6.5 player on the bench. I know he plays against City in the first round, but when you own such a high priced player, I believe that in the first week it's not worth being benched. I wouldn't go with 8 playing attackers that are heavily playing, because you will miss a lot of points, and then some decisions would have to be made. Like, if he scores a hat-trick, for example, Joao Pedro, then you wouldn't want to replace him. You would replace, for example, Elanga, then he will score, and this will get snowballing. That's why I would like to invest in a heavy starting 11 and to have some proper bench options, but nothing too major that is going to make me deliberate my choices in the forward lineup. So yeah, I want my budget to be spent perfectly fine in the offensive line. If you like that, it's okay. But honestly, so much money spent on the offensive bench option. Then you have Elanga, who I don't like quite so much. Then you have Martinez. I would give this a 7 out of 10 because the budget could have been spent better. And even though this is a Haaland Salah draft, you can go even better in my opinion. You own Isaac and Bruno, you own Gordon, you own a semi-expensive midfielder next to being Nkunku. So yeah, if you adapt a little bit the budget, it will go nice. Now, next team is from Arba. He joined the stream and he then joined my latest stream as well. And he had some good insights and helped me a lot. This is a nice Haaland Salah draft. It has Isaac. It has Alexander-Arnold as well. It has 3 defenders who rotate pretty nicely, if I'm not mistaken. Like here you go for Fulham's defender, here you go for this pair. In game week 4 you're good to go. In game week 5 you're more than good to go. In game week 6 you're good to go. In game week 7 it's okay-ish. So Fulham, Everton, Newcastle seems like a really good defensive option, and I might go there as well. Like this looks nice in my opinion. I'd quite like it. If you go for a Crystal Palace one instead of Newcastle, it might be even better. So yeah, I might steal that for my team and I might write it in my planner because I like the approach. Yeah, you don't own a Villa defender who seems to be very popular being Konsa, but some rotation may come during the European tournaments. Well, this team don't have a European tournament up ahead of them, so yeah, it might be a good thing to go for that. But yeah, a lot of things to consider still. I will go after the video and add my and expand my draft. Next up, it's Arnold. He's a good player, don't get me wrong. I'm a Liverpool fan and I quite like Trent Alexander-Arnold, but currently I honestly don't know where he's going to be playing. Like not against last season, SWAT's team, the right back played really well, but this is the Prem. This is Trent. He is one of the best players on the ball in the league, and yeah, this is the Prem. We don't know what is going to happen. So maybe against Ipswich, Trent will destroy everyone not owning him, but still I'm quite hesitant to go there yet. Next up, in midfield, I quite like it. Apart from the 2 players being Szoboszlai and McGinn, we currently don't know if Szoboszlai is going to be the 10. If he is, it seems like Arba is a Liverpool fan. If he is, fair play. Szoboszlai for a 6.5, he is going to be a steal during the season if he can improve his form and he becomes the player joining the channels during the attack. He will be a hidden gem in my opinion. McGinn might be on pens, might be on all set pieces. 5.5 seems reasonable, but you have once again 6 attackers. You can swap McGinn or Hudson-Odoi and drop them down, and then you go for a 6.5 player instead. So, or you can go without Wood, so McGinn can immediately become Bailey, and that's an improvement. Szoboszlai can become Eze. A lot of things can happen if you just drop Odoi or McGinn to a 4.5 midfielder and then boost the other guy to a 6.5. But if you quite like having 8 attackers, this is a perfectly fine balance. Up front, Haaland, Isaac and Wood seems reasonable. I quite like this draft. It's a little bit different from the rest. If you fix the benching headache around the attacker, I believe this can be an 8.5, even 9 out of 10. Without it, it's an 8.5 for sure. So yeah, let's give it an 8.5 for Arba. And the final draft for today is going to be Digital Mayhems. And here we see another different draft. This is a no Salah, no Haaland draft. And here I have several issues with it. First of all, the keeper, okay, he decided to do that, but doubling up for Arsenal, yeah, they have been the best defense, so this can be a huge differential if you go for double Arsenal. Like, what the hell, this will be so beneficial and would be so amazing. So Saliba, Raya, I would live with it. Then you have Anderson and Robinson, and then on the bench you have Trippier, who is 6 million, and then Pedro Porro, who is 5.5. So you have such an expensive defense. I know that you cannot spend, you can spend more money because you don't own either Salah or Haaland, but wasting it on a defender, like if you drop one of the 4.5 players to a 4.0, you have 0.5 more to improve. If you drop Trippier to someone else, or if you want to you drop Pedro Porro to, let's say, Van den Ven, you have then more money, which can improve Rice to become Odegaard, which is quite an upgrade. Like Odegaard had a full rest while Rice didn't. He played every single minute possible, I believe, in the Euros. So that would have been extensive game time for him. The rest, Palmer, Eze, Foden, Gordon, Watkins, Isaac, I liked quite much. João Pedro is once again a player that I wouldn't go for. Like, I've seen him in a lot of drafts. He might be a hidden player that everyone is just picking and I'm just overlooking. But I don't quite like Brighton's fixtures. This is a new manager. He's the most inexperienced guy ever. Like, he's 32 or 33. He hasn't played in a really top level. So it's going to be interesting to see if they become like something that deserve be built. This would be a steal to go for a 5.5 player, but an injury issue and a new playstyle, which we don't know how it's going to look. It's pretty tricky to go for. So I would steer away from Brighton assets so far. But yeah, if you improve the defense and upgrade maybe Rice or maybe upgrade even Foden, or no, you don't need to drop down Foden. So yeah, if you upgrade Rice to Odegaard, it would be brilliant. Elsewhere, it's a good draft in my opinion. I would give it a 7 out of 10 because this is such an expensive bench. You don't need such an expensive bench in my opinion. So yeah, 7 out of 10 to finish up the squads. I quite like doing those videos. I'm seeing different perspectives. Like I will steal Arba's idea and I will see what Fulham, Everton and the third player will get me into. So that might be the play. It's either going to be a Chelsea defender or a Villa defender, most probably. So we have to see how everything is going to look like game week 2. Yeah, it's Spurs for Everton, but I can quite live with that. So yeah, we'll see how we can improve the draft or if we should at all. Like Everton have been doing so well defensively and it seems stupid to avoid them. If I'm not going for an early wild card, this fixture run will be in the money. They have so many good fixtures, and the good thing is that and the other turn of events they will finish on some good home fixtures once again. So Everton might be a really strong team to go for. I know that Spurs may hurt them, but still I might just go with it and just forget about it. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. I hope you enjoyed these videos. I hope you like them. I hope you're having a good time. If you do, show appreciation down by smashing the subscribe button, smashing the like button, putting down your team for a future review that I will be doing live on stream. Once again, if we cannot finish all the teams during the stream, I'm going to conclude another video and I'm going to present several more teams and several different strategies, so you can pick one that you really enjoy and to leave feedback about my videos. Thank you once again for watching, but for now guys, I'll be heading out. Bye.